So Dream and Tommyinnit have been beefing over the past few weeks now, and it seems as though nobody is actually talking about it, or nobody actually cares about it. There are some people who have claimed that it feels as though we are back in 2020 or 2021 because it's a feud involving the once popular Dream SMP server, with two of the biggest creators from that server having a public feud for everyone to enjoy. So for context as to how all of this began, it started when Tommy said that he does not like fellow streamer Miskif on one of his podcast episodes.
I met award.
Oh, for me, it's so easy.
Go on.
Mizgif. Piss me off the twat. Have you ever just hated someone based off nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I had to stand next to him for a bit, and I've never just genuinely hated every word and movement someone did. I also was very tired and wanted to see my friends. I didn't get to see my friends. I got to see Mizkif.
It's very obvious from that clip alone that Tommy does not like Mizkif, and he made sure that everyone knew that as a fact. But after Mizkif heard this, he didn't like how Tommy spoke about him. So he went back at Tommy, talking about how he didn't like Tommy as well. He went on to further talk about how cringe Tommyinnit was and how bad of a person he really is.
You know what's crazy about this? I don't even really remember meeting Tommyinnit. When I was talking to Tommyinnit, he was probably one of the most insufferable people that I've ever talked to in my fucking life. Tommyinnit is just standing there like a complete prick. I say hello to him, and he gives me the rudest stare you could ever imagine. I'm like, what is your fucking problem? What the hell did I do to you, you stupid British fuck?
And these two continued their exchange by subtly taking shots at each other and trying to prove to the world how cringe the other person was. Nobody really paid attention to any of them because it wasn't that big of a deal. Plus, there are plenty of creators that are publicly feuding in front of the whole world, so it was considered normal. This story then takes an interesting and unexpected turn when in comes Dream, with the tweet talking about how Dream SMP fans either grew up or became an R-word Tommyinnit fan. Now, where does Dream fit into all of this? Nowhere. He came out of nowhere and just dissed Tommy and his fans for seemingly no reason at all. And of course, he did receive backlash for this type of behavior and the tweets that he had posted dissing Tommy and his fans. Because one, it had nothing to do with him, and two, it had nothing to do with him. Dream would eventually delete the whole tweet altogether. But not before Tommy would eventually respond with a tweet of his own, responding to Dream's initial tweet, talking about how Dream is a bastard and how bad of a person he is. So Dream then decides to make a 3-hour-long live stream, not only talking about the drama between himself and Tommyinnit, but also about the members of the Dream SMP in general. He also talked about all the claims that he bullied Tommy when Tommy was just a young boy, claiming that he didn't do any of that, as well as talking about how he tried to help him during his come up on YouTube. Tommy would soon make a response video of his own, simply titled Dream. In this video, he addressed the Dream calling his fans the you-know-what. He claimed that Dream was in fact a bully. He harassed his mother while she was going through a terrible divorce, and further accused the Dream of just being a terrible human being overall by being manipulative and not caring about any other person except for himself. He even talked about how Dream treats his friends terribly and how he views women in a negative light.
A Dream. Hello, mates. Let's just dive right in, shall we? Talk about you calling all my fans the arseler. You can't throw around the arseler, mate. You just can't. My mum worked with adults with disabilities, and since I was 12, I volunteered with her. These are real, fucking amazing people who I think of like family. And you do not just throw it around. It's impossibly immature and reckless and sets such a shitty precedent to everyone. And you and your friends' references and the way you talk about women behind the scenes has been so sexist too. 4 years ago, you were awful to me. When I was 16, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years. The Dream SMP, a lot of your success, just wouldn't have happened without me.
Dream would then make a response video to Tommy's response video, claiming that he was actually innocent, about how he doesn't hate women. He also talked about how he wasn't bullying Tommy when Tommy was 16, how he was actually trying to help him. He also addressed the claims about how Tommy accused him of always taking credit of his success on YouTube, talking about how it was all jokes and everything. He also talked about how he didn't like the fact that Tommy was making jokes about him being a predator way before he was accused of being a predator, and even after he was accused of it, about how Tommy was in fact the bully and he actually did nothing wrong.
You and some of your friends have been spreading disproven lies about me for over a year and a half. When I had false allegations made about me, it was one of the hardest times of my life, and you and your friends decided that after I went through the hell of debunking them, that you would continue to spread, joke about, and support these lies. I gave you YouTube advice because I thought that you were extremely talented, hardworking, and you had a big dream to be a YouTuber. And that's why with no expectations, we called for hours a day talking about YouTube, strategies, and ideas. And I never held this over your head. Most people hearing that I helped you at all are probably hearing this for the first time. Tommy, there's no way that you actually believe this. Saying I was so terrible to you with no examples or anything. Like, if you don't think that my intention was to help you, then what was my intention? Why did I do all of that? That egotistical sentiment is exactly what you're accusing me of.
I really don't understand why they are beefing at all, to be honest. Like, it really doesn't make any sense to me, regardless of who is right or wrong, or who is telling the truth and who isn't. Dream got involved in something that he was not meant to be a part of. It doesn't make sense as to why he needed to do that. Maybe it's to create some buzz, maybe it's to gain some traction. Some people said that he did it so that he could have clout back because he is no longer at the level that he was back in 2021. Regardless, it really doesn't make sense as to why Dream would just come out of nowhere and diss Tommy and his fans like that. I mean, I get that he has some issues with Tommyinnit, but to go that far was really unnecessary. But regardless, I just want to see where this feud goes, although it doesn't seem it's going to go far since Tommy has basically gone radio silent since Dream posted his video a few days ago.